Translating into a woman giving birth, the sculpture is based on the ubume, a type of yokai or supernatural entity found in Japanese folklore. As female ghosts, for centuries, ubume have been featured in literature and theater as a popular trope in revenge and household disturbance plots. Their popularity lies in their link with the almost universal fears of death, extinction, and women. They are women who have died during pregnancy or childbirth. In early accounts, the ubume takes the form of a tormented woman carrying her baby, offering her to anybody who passes by. Over time, the story has evolved in horrific ways, whether she is drenched in blood or carrying a fetus. In almost all versions, she is anguished. However, one major development with ubume concerns her fusion with a bird, this idea an import from China. In his 17th century book, Yamaoka Genrin explains this type of hybrid of a pregnant woman and bird as an evil and aggressive ghost. With breasts and feathers, the bird would snatch one's children away, making the ubume even more terrifying. Ubume reflects many underlying fears and anxieties. It was considered a sin for women to die while pregnant. Those who did were believed to be the blood pool hell, where women were forced to consume their own menstrual blood as their blood was regarded as a pollutant. This belief was especially popular during the Muromachi period. Much of this belief comes from the previous attitudes regarding children. In the early modern period, children who died before they turned 7 years old were not buried because they were considered closer to deities. Only later would they be viewed as humans. Although Momo is physically based on the ghost yokai, this contemporary version has some of the characteristics of the Omanojaku yokai. This yokai has been known since before written history in Japan. These ghosts perform evil deeds and provoke humans into acting on wicked desires. In the fairy tale Eriko Hime, a little girl lets one of these spirits into her house. The demon kidnaps her and impersonates her by wearing her flayed skin. It is clear from this example of the yokai that there has been a long-standing history of tales of spirits provoking humans into performing immoral deeds. Early examples of Japanese attempts to blend in internet culture with the paranormal date back to the 2001 film Kairo, or Pulse in English. The main characters in this film begin to experience supernatural happenings after one of his friends commits suicide. In this film, spirits attempt to contact and haunt this character through technological means such as computer monitors, cell phones, and discs in order to torment the viewers. In one case, one of the central characters experiencing the threats becomes uncommunicative and depressed. The characters are shown eerie images of ghosts and receive sinister phone calls. The Momo challenge has many echoes with the contemporary horror movement that combines the supernatural with technology. The emergence of social media and messaging apps has allowed the genre to tap into new fears and create situations in which the immediate and personal nature of the apps is used to incite fear. Motherbird is a mixed media sculpture created by Japanese artist Keisuke Aisawa for the special effect company Link Factory in 2016. The sculpture depicts Ubume, the haunting figure of a Japanese folktale. While images of Momo zoom on the sculpture's face, the sculpture shows a woman's head with oversized eyes and a large haunting smile. This sits atop a female torso that extends just below the breasts. Attached to the torso is a pair of bird's legs that support the sculpture. The sculpture is further supported by a beam that extends down from the torso behind the figure's legs. The sculpture was exhibited at an exhibition in Tokyo about ghosts and specters. Research shows that there is an established relationship between social media consumption and the fear of crime, and that greater social media consumption is related to fear among adults. However, this relationship varies by perceived safety of the subject. Contemporary Japanese films such as Pulse and The Ring have set precedents for Japanese films depicting our ambivalence towards modern technology and its influence on us. The Momo hoax, which would have functioned both through YouTube and WhatsApp, is particularly terrifying in that it breaks down assumed boundaries for how we use technology. This barrier would be that a person cannot directly contact you through YouTube, and that strangers cannot interact with you on WhatsApp if you do not desire that. When using these apps, barriers are put in place to maintain a degree of personal control over your own subject-object relation. However, children do not have an understanding of this but simply view apps as a means to an end. Whether that's watching videos, commenting on Instagram posts, or messaging their friends. The breakdown of these barriers hit home, as fear that what happens online can have tangible, real-world consequences was tapped into. In addition to this, the Momo hoax tapped into potential guilt felt by parents for leaving their kids in front of a computer, tablet, or smartphone watching videos in place of having meaningful interactions with their children. The Momo hoax is unique in that parents would recognize that there is another person. Ultimately, the Momo hoax has made use of Japan's rich history of terrifying folklore in order to call into question the methods, quality, and quantity of information and distraction that we take in, but also extends a larger question of how we create meaning for ourselves and between ourselves and others in the 21st century.